Hi. How are you?
Very good.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a date this Friday?
No.
Do you have a hot date?
Not at all.
All right. If you don't, then hopefully someday in the future you might have a good one, right? Now think about this. Think about if you could imagine the perfect date, what would it be? Who would it be with? Where would you go? What would you eat? Did you imagine that? A perfect date on a Friday or Saturday night. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you have it in your head? Yes? Okay. Now let me tell you, there are no perfect dates. All right? There's only good ones, bad ones, great ones, and terrible ones. Okay? Now, the problem is we think of the perfect date too much and put our expectations too high. And that can be a problem for us. And then we get nervous. So that's what I want to share with you today. My name is Austin Dale Kim, and I help students overcome their anxiety of dating, relationships, and social dynamics. And today I want to help you overcome that and help you attain lifelong quality relationships. So let's take a look. Social dynamics. There's 3 key areas that we should prepare for. Social dynamics, dating, and relationships. Now, do you know what social dynamics are? No? Social dynamics it's the interaction between groups and individuals amongst yourselves. So, in an easier way, it's just your friends in your major groups, right? We have girls and guys, we hang out together, we socialize together, we study together. And it's how we behave in that group. So that's the first area. Then we have dating and relationships. So let's start. We have social dynamics. Now, a lot of people, they ask me, well, there's so many intellectual things that you could talk about. Why did you choose dating and social dynamics and relationships? Why? Why that one when there's such a spectrum of topics to talk about? You know why? Well, I wanted to hit something that's at the center point with college students. When I was a college student, this is what I wanted to learn. This is what I was interested in. But there was no avenue to learn any of this. None of the professors would tell me anything like this. I tried to get books. There weren't any good books at the time. The internet was at the beginning stages. And people that I asked for advice, they gave me terrible ones, right? So sometimes not all advice is good advice. So let's take a look. We have the key areas. First key area is social dynamics. Take a look. It says 21 things that boys like in girls, or girls like in boys. Those kind of things, that's social dynamics. We have to understand those kind of things to be able to achieve what we want. So the 3 key areas in social dynamics. It's preparation, TV versus reality, and value. Not being needy. Those are the 3 areas that I'd like to share with you today. Okay? So first of all, we need to prepare ourselves. First, we need to study academically. So, as a Korean or a Korean American, what do your parents say? You need to study, right? Why? Well, you need to study so that you can get to a good school. Then after that, you get a good job. And then after that, you get a good husband or wife, right? Yes. And a lot of Koreans say that. Well, there are a lot of truths to that, especially out here in the society. Having wealth, a good career, those are things that'll never hurt you. So we need to really study academically. Now, another thing is we need to understand how to prepare to learn about love. That doesn't mean what is love. Oh, it's holding hands with somebody you like on the beach. No, we're not talking about that. We're trying to understand how to achieve love, how to get it from the person that you want. Those are the things. And then finally, we have what my father said. So I have a little sister, and when she was in high school, I think maybe freshman in high school, she asked my father, okay, why do I have to study? Because I think she was getting tired of studying. And again, he gave him the same answers all the time. You have to study because you're going to go into a good college, then get a good job, and then find a good husband. And she wanted to challenge him. So she said, all right, no, that's not a good answer. I want to know why. Show me in an easy way, Dad. Why do I have to study? And her name is Esther. So my dad said, all right, here's this picture. He said, Esther Marie Kim, this is why you have to study. So obviously, my dad's saying, you don't want to be that girl. No, you don't want to be her. So you have to study so you don't have to be that girl. So then I asked him the same question because, I'm the big brother, I'm the firstborn, and I'm the son. So I asked him, all right, Dad, why do I have to study? Right? Why do I have to study if I want to focus on getting a good girlfriend or whatever? And he said, Austin, this is why you need to study. He's saying, you want to be that guy, okay? So this is social dynamics. This happens a lot in any society. So now let's go to TV versus reality. So what we see on TV and the dramas is sometimes real and sometimes it isn't, right? Now, attraction is not a choice. We do not choose to be attracted with somebody. You don't say, all right, that person, I want to be attracted. What can I do? No. It just happens naturally. It might happen for looks, for prestige. They play the violin well, right? They're a good dancer. It doesn't matter. You don't choose to become attractive. You just are. On TV, what do you see normally in the dramas? You see the rich guy and the poor girl, right? Or the rich woman and the poor guy. And that's the struggle, right? Do we have that in reality? Maybe. But one thing for sure is they're not all that great looking in reality. On TV, everyone's pretty, everyone's handsome. It doesn't work that way in reality. So, that's something we have to understand. And another thing on TV, the declaration of love. You know what that is? Koreans are like, all right, I'm going to tell her. I want to tell her I like her. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'm going to tell her, right? The declaration, right? Telling the girl or the guy that you like her. This is bad. I recommend not doing this. First, let's understand, why do people do this? Why are they so caught up on the declaration? Can anyone guess why? Why do they focus so much, especially in Korea? Trying to tell them that they like them. Why do they do this? There's a reason why they do this. Can anyone tell me? Well, they feel that if I tell the girl I like her, she might like me back. You see? That's why people do it. Okay? But in reality, it doesn't work. Because it's not a perfect world. Everyone you say you like, if they liked you back, that'd be a perfect world, wouldn't it? It doesn't work that way. In reality, you don't want the other person to know you like them or dislike them. You want them to always guess, right? The situation you want is you want to have so for instance, if it's a woman, you want to have her thinking, does he like me or does he not like me? Does he think I'm pretty? That's what you constantly want. You want them guessing. Because that's where it's unpredictable and it's always new. And that's where the romance happens. Now let's take a look. The last part is complimenting beauty. Now, we see that all the time, right? A young guy, an old guy, a college student, everyone compliments beauty. Wow, you're beautiful. You got great eyes. Why do people do this? Can you guess? Even an old guy, when he's at the bank, he might say to the bank teller, "You are really pretty." Right? He might say that. Why do people do this? We have to understand why people do it. Can you understand? Why? Some say, well, they want to just express the natural beauty and compliment it on it, right? Yes, that's probably true. But really, there's also the fact that people feel that if they compliment the beauty, maybe that beautiful person might be a little bit interested in the person who's complimenting. It's a natural human behavioral aspect. And in reality, complimenting beauty is not such a great thing. It's good maybe when you have a girlfriend or boyfriend and it's been a year, or you're married. That's a great time to compliment beauty. But in the initial stages, it's just not good. Why focus on beauty? If she's pretty, that's great. You don't have to focus on that. You want to focus on different areas. If he's very handsome or whatever, you don't need to focus on that. There's so many other areas, important areas to focus on rather than beauty or looks. Very artificial and not needed. Now let's take a look. We have, I don't know what happened here, but showing value. This is very important, showing value, all right? As you can see, confidence and more confidence. That's the key. You've heard that. Everyone's heard that, right? And it's absolutely true. Now, not everyone can have the confidence or know how to show the confidence, right? So some say, if you don't have it, you have to fake it until you get it. And that's not just a bad thing, because if you act confident and smile that you're confident, you can naturally become confident. That's one way. But a more important thing is, you don't want to lose confidence. Because once you start losing confidence, you're done. It's very difficult to recover. So you do things so that you don't lose confidence. Because losing confidence is very demoralizing. And then, the killer trait of showing value, the killer is being needy. What does it mean to be needy? This is something that's really terrible. And it's something that everyone does at one point or other in their lives. I've done it, everyone has done it. Being needy, right? Being needy is when you start meeting somebody, you're like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I'll come and get you. Oh, Saturday? Oh, yeah. I had some plans, but I'm gonna, just scrap it so I can be with you. Wherever you want, I want to be there. Being needy, right? Throwing away all your plans, right? Not meeting your friends, right? That's being needy. It's like, have you ever seen when a group of friends, they're like, hey, where's Chursu? Chursu? I haven't seen him in months. Why? What happened? He used to hang out with us all the time. He got a girlfriend. So he's just gone. He just got into a submarine and just vanished. That's called being needy. So that's something that you do not want to do. And it's hard though, it's very difficult to not be needy. But you want to try to be the person that you are and have priorities in your life. And the girlfriend aspect or the boyfriend aspect is just one small part. And we have the last area, value yourself very highly. That part came out pretty nice. All right, value. You have to have value. If you don't value yourself, who's going to value you? Right? You have to love yourself more than anybody. And that's the key. Because if you value yourself, take care of yourself right, and love yourself, the other person's going to be like, wow, that's attractive. And that's the key right here. Let's take a look. We have the dating. Look at this picture. This is Korean dating. It's Korean dating at its finest. or at its worst. Now let's take a look. What's wrong with this picture? There's nothing really wrong with it, but can you see anything? What can you see? All right, yes. You have the pink handbag. That's could be a problem. But look, this might be a great setting maybe before you get married or when it's very serious. But if it's the initial stages of a relationship, dating, this is not what you want to see. This is not good. Look, he's holding the flowers that he gave to her. She should be holding it, right? He gave it to her, but he's holding it. All she has is the cotton candy, and then look on his left hand. He's holding the pink bag. Ew. I've never, ever held a woman's bag, ever. Well, maybe once. Maybe once with my wife when we were dating. We had to put in a lot of beers to smuggle into the movie theater. That's the only one time I've ever held a bag. All right, so this is what Korean dating looks like, all right? It's great when the relationship is solid, you're about to get married, but in the beginning, it might not be so good. Because look, the guy is the slave to her beauty, and sometimes that's not so good, right? All right. Now we have the 3 key areas of dating. This is the area that's very difficult for a lot of guys because, the girl, she's just sitting there waiting to be asked, right? Some girls these days will ask out a guy, and that's fine. And so, this part is very simple, but very, very difficult at times because you have to get the phone number, right? Now, how do guys get the phone number? Well, you need to be calm and you need to just get it. There are many ways, right? They'll say things like, oh, I'd love to buy you a nice dinner. Can I have your phone number? Right? Or they'll be like, boom, take a look at this. She's like, what? Ooh, put your phone number in there. Right? There are many ways. Or, the Korean style, some of them will be like, give me this. Here you go, enjoy. Whatever you do, I'm not a big fan of that one, right? Yeah, never touch someone's stuff. But a good way to go about is just simply, if you don't know the person well, just simply say, hey, do you have email? And then be like, are you crazy? Of course I have email. Well, write down your email address. She's writing down the email address, right? And then, oh, at the bottom, can you write your name there? And next to it, write your phone number? And that happens to work very easily. It's smooth because no one's afraid of getting someone's email, right? Oh, I'm not going to give that email to that guy. That guy's crazy. No one does that, right? They just give out emails naturally. So that could be a good way. Now, once you have the phone number, we need to ask the person out, right? And that can be another hard situation. A lot of people like to text, which is a good way. But we need to ask out with initiative. If you're scared, or if you're not sure, then the person can feel like, okay, this might not be so fun. Now, how are we going to do this? Now, one way you don't want to do it is, you don't want to be like, all right, when do you have time? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any day I'm available, anytime. When do you have time? You don't want to do that. That's being needy. No one wants that, right? One of the best ways that I have done it myself when I was single is just calmly. I'm very busy these days. I have a lot of work obligations and things I need to do. But for you, I have time Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'm busy, but I have time Wednesday. I'll see you at 7:30 at Yakok Station. Okay? See how that works? It doesn't show neediness. I'm saying I'm busy Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, but I have time Wednesday. And a lot of times that'll show value. And creating that value, it might be small, but it creates a very sparkling style start. So that's what you want to do. Ask out with initiative. Okay, be firm with the time, and you could say something like, all right, I'll see you at 7:30 at Yokok Station. Wear some pretty shoes because we're gonna have a great time, right? So when you're like confident of showing them we're gonna have a great time, it doesn't matter what you do, you're just gonna have a great time. See? Now, here's what we have on the date. So once you're on the date, you need to be a true gentleman, right? So your words are very confident, but your actions need to be very chivalrous. So you hold the door for them, the chair, you do all that great stuff that you normally do. You would do that for your sister or your mother or your friend. You want to be a pure gentleman. Now first, a lot of mistakes happen when the guy or the girl or whatever, if whoever's doing the asking, they need to find the location and the venue. Some people, they don't scout out the area. So you need to go there first, see what's there, what good restaurants to go to, and prepare, right? The worst thing you can do is you meet, and you're like, where should we go? I don't know, where should we go? And then you start walking around everywhere. And trust me, the girl's gonna be angry. They don't like that. And if you're like, oh, what do you want to eat? Where should we go? No, that's another no-no. All right? You want to just be like, I know a great restaurant. It's fantastic. Let's go. And you just take charge. All right. And then the last part. We need to have fun. Once you're there sitting down, you're talking. You need to have a lot of fun. It's not a job interview. Too many people, they're like, all right, what's your major? Where do you live? How many brothers and sisters you have? All that stuff. That's boring. You don't want to ask those kind of questions. But people do because they don't know what to talk about. So what do we talk about? Somebody has to lead. So usually it's the guy that's leading. They have to ask the right questions. What are you going to ask? What can you ask? You don't want to ask job interview style questions. All right? It's boring. You want to be like, for instance, all right, could you tell me 3 things about you that would make somebody like me interested in you? Oh, you don't have 3? Okay, just give me 2. It's okay. All right, just give me 2. And maybe on the next date, you can give me the last one. You see? Something creative and something you want to always have fun with. Smile and laugh and joke, right? If you could have any superpower, what would it be? You know, those kind of things. You don't even want to touch upon your major and all that stuff, right? Everyone knows it. You can do all that stuff later. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Talk about whatever you want. You know, ask them, you know, what's your passion in life? What are you very passionate about? And then you talk about that, right? No job interviews, all right? All right. And here's the last combination for the man. It's called being cocky and funny. It's a combination. Have you ever heard of that? You know cocky? It's like being confident, a little bit overconfident, but not arrogant. You say yes. But you have to do that with funny. We need funny. Because if it's too much cocky, you're a jerk. And if it's too much funny, you're a clown. And you don't want to be any of those. You want to be the right combination, to have fun and enjoy, and the person can be, wow, very interesting. What's the right combination in the woman? Whatever you're doing, it's working great, trust me. Right? For the women, it's a lot easier. They just naturally know. They're born with it, it's everywhere. Their moms, sisters, and friends talk about it. It's a little bit more ingrained in your nature. So whatever you're doing, continue doing it. Now we have relationships. Relationships, that is something that I'm still studying. All right? It's a lifelong avenue. It's a lifelong education. I'm still studying and still understanding. So that is something that there is no one perfect way, right? But that is true. Look, value all your relationships. Thank you for listening.